13 flight controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's entertainment.
Good Sunday evening, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We're back again with absolutely nothing planned, so God only knows what's going to happen. And of course, we've got somebody to come in here with us because you just gotta find somebody to share your time with. Who could it possibly be? Yeah, that's right.
Hello. That is a proper introduction. If I
There you go. You said I didn't hook you up, so we brought it in. We got you going on.
There we go. That's nice.
I like it. Ripped it off just perfectly. I even got the other song too, if you need that.
Did you actually get that off the YouTube music, or did you get it?
No. I actually I got a program that I can download either the audio or the video, and then I put it into Audacity, and I separated your voice out from all of it because you can literally take your.
You tried so hard when I could tell you how to get it for 2 seconds on YouTube.
I know.
It's a free YouTube music song, but
really,
yeah. I didn't pay anything for that. Actually. You're not going to get flagged for it, but the only stipulations about that song is you have to give the artist credit.
Great.
It's a song to use as long as you give the artist credit. But I don't think you used enough of it. So
usually it's 3 seconds, 4 seconds, something like that, and then you got to get out of it. But and I think the biggest thing is you got to monetize it. So I think that's the big thing. And half the time I don't do that. If I do, it's very little.
Yeah.
But I've got other.
Well, we got someone on the north end of the Grand Canyon out in the middle of the woods watching our stream.
Really?
Detecting Arizona. That's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
The Grand Canyon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Like in Williams, Detecting Arizona? Or far north of the Grand Canyon? Like on the rim? Or interesting.
Oh, and it's someone's birthday. Is that today, Shannon? Really?
Huh.
Back up one.
So, Shannon, this is for you.
Happy friggin' birthday.
We're overachievers here, definitely.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, like last time, guys, definitely say hi out there. Let me know you're out there because, I have no way of knowing. All I can do is see people. We got 43 so far. And I love seeing where you guys are from and who's out there. That makes my day. I mean, that's the whole reason why I do this stuff. Between having something to do with the wife here and getting to see you guys and talk to you and things like that, that's what I really enjoy. And that's kind of my payment for doing it. So by all means, if you would say hi and stuff, that way I can kind of see where you're from and all that. So I do want to apologize to anybody out there. My email account is on my phone, but I have not been getting all the emails that I've been sent. So I tried to reply to everybody here earlier, but it seems that for some reason I'm only getting some stuff and really haven't gotten any of the important ones. So I'm going to need to reprogram that or double check it off the computer. So if you have emailed me and stuff, I apologize. I definitely try to reply to everybody. So.
Do you want to help me get through some of my emails too?
I thought, man, I was just a total loser, but I actually had a few emails. I'm like, cool. And I actually had one that thanked me and you and Ryan and a few other people that he said, did you get that one?
I got an email too. I think he sent it to a couple of us. That was
that's what he said he was going to.
It was really nice.
Got a job at Carrier and stuff. And I thought, oh, sweet, So I was like, that makes it awesome,
Yeah, that was a really nice email.
Yep, I love hearing stuff like that. I mean, it totally makes the day because you just don't know. Is it making a difference? Are we just a bunch of idiots that they think, why are these guys doing it? Or, are they actually getting something out of it? I mean, I'm sure there's entertainment value for people that know what they're doing, but, for the guys that, are coming in and they're just only looking at the book or, whatever, haven't got their first job yet. I mean, I'm hoping that it's useful to them people. So that's great to hear.
I think people really do get benefit from this stuff. So,
I'm hoping so.
Our experiences and our mistakes and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of times, like I've told a lot of them, is the reason why I point out stuff I point out is generally because it's things I either had questions on or I screwed up or didn't know. So
Yeah.
We have someone watching from Australia. That's pretty sweet.
awesome.
That is awesome. It's a trip to get messages from around the world. It's so cool.
That's what I kind of always thought. I mean, I've had pretty much.
Ooh, in Romania. Whoa.
Wow, I don't think I've had that before. That's cool.
Yeah, that
Very
is-
neat. Yeah, I love hearing that kind of stuff because it's like I told her last week, I'm like, it's really crazy. You got this little freaking cable going out to the road and then jumping all the way to other countries. I mean, it's just wild. I mean, we take it for granted. We don't think about the complexity behind it, because I mean, if I wanted to call you 2,000 miles away, I could have you in 2 seconds on my phone. It's just weird.
Yep.
So we just take it for granted. Whereas back when we were kids, man, it was long distance to call your girlfriend if she was out of the area and got charged for it. Now these guys have got it made and talk all over the world and it doesn't cost nothing.
I remember having to call collect. Like my mom always told me, like, in case there was an emergency, you can always call me collect.
Yeah.
Aw.
Every once in a while.
I think when we took after we graduated, we ended up going down to Florida and I called home because cell phones weren't real affordable at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we called in on a calling card. MCI was the big cheap deal back then, and it's like.
Never had a calling card, but for those young people that are watching, I don't know how many young people, when I'm saying calling collect, that's because we had coin operated payphones. And so I didn't have change on me. And so I would have to go hit the operator dial 0, and that was interesting. But you could also scam the system if you knew how to do it. I would mark it.
You have a call from, call me back at 444-2508. I remember that. That was really cool. I think they got wise to it after a while, though.
Do you remember calling to find out what time it is too? Hitting the operator to find out the exact time so you can set your clocks?
No, there was time and temperature back in the day.
Yeah, we would call a number and then like you'd call time. I don't remember what the number was, and you would get the exact time so that way you can set all your clocks, because we didn't have any stuff like that. So
no, because I mean, internet was just kind of getting popular in '94 area. And one of my ex basically had it. And so I kind of just started playing with it when she came around. And I was like, wow, this is kind of neat, And then Yahoo was kind of popular. And it's like, what are you talking about, Yahoo?
We got time and temp. I can't believe someone put time and temp in there. That these call time and temp, which there's one still in this area you can still call.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't called it for a long, long time. But yeah, it's pretty wild and stuff. I remember doing work we did work at some of the radio stations and stuff, and I got to see, it's amazing what's actually behind. I mean, these radio stations are so ghetto, and it's just like a little box there, or even like the device that puts the channel name and information on the radio. I've worked at the towers before, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm talking to the engineer, and he's like, yeah, that right there is what puts the name across it. And I'm looking at it, and it looks like some homemade contraption. It's like, wow.
So we also have someone from New Zealand, so that's pretty cool.
Man.
But we've already got for a question.
What's that?
So we can ask both of you guys. This is a good question. Ricky
Click it.
is asking if anybody is adding a surcharge for COVID PPE per call.
We're not, but I mean, I could see that becoming normal before long.
Yeah, no, not here yet. We still we have enough fees and stuff built up at this time, but as things change, that may be something we may have to do. But for right now, our PPE really isn't much. I mean, the guys all have a mask, safety glasses, gloves, so we don't yet, but I could totally see people having to do that. So
especially as you have to change, going in, going out, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of crazy. I mean, like I was working at a food processing plant on Friday, and like you have to put on the booties that are rubberized and stuff like that. And I was thinking, man, I had to go outside. I had to take my jacket off. It was a special jacket for going in different areas of food processing, and ain't allowed to wear it outside. You have to have a special covered ear or hair net, stuff like that. I could only imagine if you had to provide some of that stuff, that would suck.
I used to do work for a couple different hospitals, and I remember having to gown up to go work in the ORs and things like that. There was nobody in there, but I mean, I'd have to gown up to be.
Yeah, you can't wear any outside shoes, any outside clothes inside an OR suite, even if it's empty.
I still found it to be very even though you're gowning up, it wasn't very still really effective. I mean, I'm putting the booties over my dirty work boots, and then carrying my dirty tools in there, and it was just like I really didn't see the whole point.
No.
Yeah, and the booties and the bunny suits they have you guys put on are actually water impervious. So even though you have nasty, dirty shoes, nothing's going to get through them unless you have a hole, of course.
Yeah, but didn't anything of my dirty tools. That's the dirtiest thing that I carry with me because we don't wash our tools. We don't wash our tools. And where do you set your drill when you're working in the bottom of a kitchen or in the bottom of a nasty reach-in? You put them on the ground, so
I try to do that because otherwise it's very tempting to put it up there on the counter where the food goes. And then
that's why I tell my guys, and I have to catch myself all the time too, is never put your tools on the cutting boards, because the restaurants all have prep tables with cutting boards, and it's like, guys, they keep these sanitary, like keep your tools on the ground, but even I'm guilty of it sometimes. When I'm busy, I'll set something up there and it's like, oh. So what I've tried to do is when I go into a restaurant, if I'm working on something, move the cutting board, take the whole cutting board out and go put it away. So then you just got a stainless steel counter. You can set something on it.
Talking about the white plastic that they have on top. Yeah. That's where that TPXL comes in handy, because I mean, used to be able to squeeze it under, well, not the TPXL, but my TP4. I used to squeeze that thing right underneath the shelving and stick it in there, which I've put it back on my truck for when I have small jobs. But
numbers on these bags, I don't know which one's which. I know I carry the Vito backpack, but I know there's a name for it, and I don't know what it is.
Tech Pack, I think.
That sounds about right. And but I need a new bag too, because I'm finally wearing out my backpack, but I've got zip ties for my zipper pulls, but it's still fine. I don't plan on getting rid of it, but I need a new bag for my wireless tools, because I have a not an MB, I think an LC. I think it's an LC.
That's pretty big.
And I don't know what it is, but it's too full for all the different wireless tools that I carry, and I need something different. So
what are you doing?
We've got a good comment in here I need to read, and you guys are yapping like women tonight. I can't get a word in edgewise here, so that's my secret weapon. I'm gonna hit the boing.
Oh, whatever.
So Chris Volt, he is asking, Rick, on today's video that you released, would there be any benefit to using a pulled tee instead of your drill and poke method?
What kind of tee?
A pulled tee.
It's a pulled tee.
Instead of, right here is the comment, instead of the drill and poke method. And he said besides it's hard copper and would have had to be.
Oh, did you? I didn't watch the video, but did you drill out a hole?
Yeah, I drilled a hole for 1/2-inch copper, and I debated how much I was going to get yelled at for it, because maybe some of the shavings got in there. But the more I got thinking about it, the propellers and stuff like that, I highly doubt the volume is going to be going through there fast enough that it's going to actually make it back to it, let alone get actually picked up and damaged into the wheel. And most of the chips came out. I mean, I could have sat there with the sweeper and tried to suck them out and stuff like that. I mean, I'm always leery about it on a refrigeration system, but
Again, I haven't seen it yet, but was it in cast iron? Is that what you were working on? Or
no, it was copper.
So I think what he's talking about actually just came up on my social media feed today, but I've seen him before. But they have like a jig that will make a tee out of a straight piece of pipe, and it pulls the excess copper out and gives you a stub to braze to. It's a $500 kit, and it's like a jig that goes around the copper, and you use your drill. And when it drills, when you pull it out, it pulls the edge out and gives you about a 1/4-inch thing to braze to. And you can make
kind of cool.
You can make your own headers basically.
Well, that's what I did. I basically first I did it with a regular drill bit, and then I ended up having to use my stepping drill bit to get it to the 1/2-inch. And then I stuck it in there, and I used braze rod, and I brazed it in. It made a real nice strong shoulder with it. I kind of layered my braze rod in there to make the shoulder all the way around it, and then I put a 1/2-inch female on it and screwed in a boiler drain and bled it that way. But lo and behold, I ended up finding out later that they had monoflow tees in there, which made it very difficult. And then I'm missing footage, so the video seems a little weird that it kind of ends and I don't show a lot more going on. Well, it was because I kind of got distracted trying to find out where and why I wasn't getting everything bled the way I wanted. I mean, it was getting hot, but it wasn't getting as hot as what it should have. And, I kind of feel as though it's not going to do real great, just because I think a lot of, think about it, anything southern of here, nobody's probably going to have a boiler. I bet it's probably not popular down there. So I'm cutting my viewership probably in half
Yeah.
Just same thing with my like geothermal show. I mean, they don't do real good either because I don't think they're popular, down south because it's not economical. They can just use regular heat pumps, so it's not worth it.
Those that are talking about it in the chat, I said 500 because that's what someone told me. I honestly have never looked up the price of that tool. So people are saying up to 1,500. I guess maybe, yeah.
Vanessa, cool.
Yeah, check that out. Some love from India for both you and Chris.
Thank you. Cool. That's awesome. Are you, don't want to sound retarded here or nothing, but I'm assuming you're a female technician, or is that maybe just a change in the translation of the names or what have you? Or
we don't say that word. In California, it's illegal to say retarded, so we say mentally handicapped.
Yeah, I know. I should probably say that. I would never make fun of people like that ever, because that's like the worst thing in the world. But yeah, no.
With you, dude.
I know. I'm sorry.
It wouldn't surprise me though in California if they outlawed that.
I try not to say that because I've got friends with kids that have that issue and stuff, and they're some of the best people you'll ever meet. So I've even worked at the place where they have a school for them and stuff like that, and they're just some of the most loving, good people in the world. So I don't mean it to be like derogatory or mean or anything like that, because that's not how I roll.
Here was there's a really cool name I saw in here. I gotta find it.
Did you guys hear about the Edwards movie theaters?
No.
They announced today that, they unofficially announced and said that as of Monday or Tuesday, they're going to make an official announcement. And the rumors are they're going to completely close and cease all operations of any Regal movie theaters across the world. Regal, which is Edwards, and they own a bunch of different movie. I think they're the largest.
I was going to say, we've got a Regal here in Lima.
But
give our location out. Awesome.
Because it was like an insider saying that there was these talks going on within the company. So it'll officially come out Monday or Tuesday. But like all the newspapers have it as headlines and stuff this morning.
I didn't even know if they were open yet or not, because I haven't went to the movies for quite a while.
So supposedly the Regal, there's a name for their company, but Regal is not. There's a bunch of different movie theater chains underneath it, but Regal is number one, and then AMC is the second biggest chain. So AMC hasn't said anything yet, but I've heard of the AMC before. The Regal thing's pretty big around here. Pretty well. We had like 3 or 4 of them, and then they made one big monster one that they crammed them all in there. And this town I live in, the only thing to do here is eat and maybe watch movies, and that's about it. There's just nothing to do here. So
poor Samuel, he's never heard of Regal.
There's so many names. It's a giant movie theater company that just went and bought up movie theaters. So in our area, they were Edwards movie theaters, and then Regal Entertainment Group bought it, and then there's some other ones too that they own. So it's a giant chain.
Yeah, they probably went around and bought them all out. Wouldn't surprise me. No, yeah, Hughes, man, I got bowling. My kid did that in school, and that is one of the most boringest things in the world to watch, but it ain't too bad to do. I like pool too, but I haven't done that forever in a coon's age.
And I can't bowl because of my handicaps.
Yeah.
So.
And she don't usually want to do nothing, so she didn't want to do nothing tonight. So I was surprised she actually wanted to do the show.
Look, I've had a migraine all day.
We've been doing
I can't help it.
Watching Ridiculousness on TV. That TV show. Do you guys ever watch that?
Which one?
It's called Ridiculousness. It's on MTV, but it's like America's Funniest Home Videos, but more adult content. Like not adult, but it's just like it's people getting hit in the nuts and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good quality stuff. I might like that.
Ridiculousness. It's on MTV. You guys got to watch it. Me and my wife have been watching it every night because it's hilarious. So
I didn't do crap yesterday because I told you what I'd done through a whole week. So I was finally a night that I could sit home, and so I sat at home and dinked around with that stupid video all day. And it freaking screwed up multiple times. The output format is supposed to be MP4. It came out as a MOV. Then I changed it again. It came out as another one. And every time it took forever to process. And that's why it came up so late. I just had a hell of a time getting that thing out. Finally, it went through and everything worked. But sheesh, I don't know. Hopefully the views are up on it. I haven't even looked lately. What else do we got going on there?
Nothing. I'm just looking in the chat. People are like freaking out about the movie theater now.
Don't take me. I just ruined like the stock prices just dropped and everything.
I think you did.
and it was all a rumor, and it's not true at all. And I just like shorted them and made a bunch of money.
Well, it'll get over it.
Oh, well.
They'll watch us then. They have nothing. And I've wondered if some of the viewership has gone down because people are now starting to get to go out and do things.
I don't know. You know,
Because I've noticed it went down a little bit.
Do you guys even like going to the movies? Because my wife and I were kind of discussing it this morning, and like honestly, I'd rather stay at home and rent a movie at home and buy a really nice TV. I mean, if you think about it, don't get me wrong, I realize to some people this is an insane amount of money, and it still is to me too. But if you put $1,000 into an entertainment system in your home, right? You could have a TV that would work for you for 10 years. You could sit down, you would never ever have to go to the movie theater, and you just rent a movie for $20 a pop or whatever. And get to be comfortable at home. Like I I would rather do that than even go to the movies anymore. So
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are like that,
I mean, I picked up my 70-inch for like $700. I mean, I'm cheap. So, I mean, I found the best bang.
I mean, altogether, if you buy, speakers and all that crap. But I mean, I think same thing. I have a Samsung like TV, and it might have cost me $600 or $700 or something. And that's a lot of money. But I mean, I enjoy watching that over going to the sticky movie theater.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody's elbow is on your shoulder thing there, and you gotta have
coughing, like now, can you imagine being in a dark room and all you hear is coughing? You're like,
run. Yeah. Well, that, and my gosh, who did I go with? I went with one. I think I might have went with my kid or something, or he get the big old popcorn, he get the big drink. I'm like, holy crap, dude! The movie was $20 and you paid $40 for the food. What the heck? So. Yeah, no, I always went in there already. I always made sure we ate before we went, and then boom, went in there. So, but yeah, around here, I think it's about $10-$12, I think, for a movie ticket for one person.
Yeah, but I can get them for like $9.25 at work.
Which is probably cheap compared to what you guys pay.
Oh, okay, Chloe, thank you.
Might be the same where we were. Like,
Was it?
I want to say $9 or $10 to go to the movies. Something like
I thought
that.
it was like crazy.
I've gone, so I don't honestly remember. So
Yeah.
And someone just say a drive-through. Actually, before the tornado took out the one, we used to have two within a 10-mile radius of one another, and now we just have the one outside where I grew up, and that's pretty much it.
I have one 2 miles from my house that we go to. It's real ghetto, but I mean, it's you don't need, if you want to go in the snack bar or their bathroom, it's nasty. But if you just stay in your car, you're fine.
We take care of the drive-in where I'm at. So the ice machine we sold them, it's in the country. So they've got very, very bad iron in their well water. And so they ran that through the Manitowoc, and it was already a used machine they bought from us. And I went out there a year later. It's dyed orange. I can't hardly freaking get it clean. Nothing wants to fall out. I swear I've made a video on it, but it's like, I'm thinking people that don't live in the country are going to have no clue why it's orange and all that stuff, because they've never had anything but, water out of a reservoir or something. So
I used to service college, and they had old iron pipes underneath. And yeah, we had pre-filters basically, and they would have us change the pre-filters every 2 weeks on their machine, to go out and change the pre-filter because it would just be solid orange. And yeah, same thing. The ice machine was just dyed orange, and it was like there's nothing you could do. And but the thing is that it's in the water. It's like it's not that big of a deal other than the color. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I've given up because I've always been real weird about trying to make the thing spotless, but I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm leaving calcium to a point. If it's really bad, then they've abused the machine. I'm not going to kill myself to get it perfect.
The harder you scrub, the harder the harder nickel plate is damaged. So.
Well, I'm talking about the plastic a lot of times. So, the nickel, the only thing you can usually get on that is the calcium, and that's going to be your nickel safe or whatever. But
yeah.
Mr. Ice is wondering, no live stream repair, ? I told him, I said, man, you can just like bounce in there and give us a little relief in between the talking and stuff if you're out running calls. And he said he's home finally for today.
Yeah, no, I'm home. Knock on wood, I've been home all day today. So
Here's a question for you guys. Andy's asking if one could get COVID from changing air filters.
I honestly, I'm not a genius when it comes to scientific stuff, but I think COVID is the least of your worries when it comes to changing air filters.
Agree.
So, especially if you work in hospitals and or big industrial, that has like filter banks and stuff like that, you need to be wearing respirators when you're changing filters. Dealing with package units and stuff like that. Again, I'm not a medical physician, but I'm not concerned about COVID. I'd be more concerned about other things, working on the big industrial stuff, and especially hospitals. So,
Well, I play a doctor on TV, so I would say no. I mean, as long as you're not licking the air filter that you're replacing, you should be good. But I feel like you should always wear, anytime you're changing filters and they're nasty, you should be wearing a mask, a respirator of something just to protect yourself.
I don't though. I don't do the big industrial or hospital stuff, but even still, if something's dusty, I'm the worst at actually doing it. I just pull my stupid neck gaiter up over my face, which really doesn't do anything. It just makes me feel comfortable, basically. So.
Leave the fan run. That way it sucks it back into the coil.
It's so many people freak out when they see me pull filters out of an AC while it's still running. They lose their minds. Like, seriously, are you real? Like,
you get called out on that?
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, never pull a filter when the unit's still running. All that dust goes back in there. And it's like,
oh boy,
talking about, come on. I
haven't got stuff like that lately. I try to do.
Yeah.
And Chris, apparently John in the chat wants to know if your wife put your truck keys in the freezer, so you apparently can't leave.
Yeah, that would be a smart thing of her to do, but she knows that I would just lose my mind over stress and anxiety. So, yeah.
Chris is saying filter
Oh,
sucks.
hey, look. It's Mr. Winston himself who wrote you guys that really nice.
Hey, yeah, that is who it was.
Very nice email there, Winston.
Yeah, so thank you.
Hopefully you got my reply. I literally went through there and I've gotten stuff back from companies I've contacted, and I had similar ones like that there. I had one guy asking for the Annie manual, which I've had a few people do that. I had one guy ask about he don't know where in my list of tools where you can get my crane lift. I'm like, you can't get it. I build it. Yeah. You want to know how I did it, man? I'll tell you. I'm not. For me to go get liability insurance and mass produce that thing, I mean, there's obviously a reason why everybody else pretty much can't manufacture it, make any money. I mean, they're ridiculously priced, but by the time you pay somebody and then, get it, somehow certified so that you're a little less liable if it breaks or somebody don't use it correctly and die on it. And no,
I'm about to do a video with mine too. But there's only so much I can show, and when you start reading about those things too, those trolleys are really the weak points when you think about the weight you can put on those trolleys. And that's what gets a little sketchy on those.
I forget the trolley. Is it rated for like 250 pounds?
Yeah, but then when you start doing looking into how much force is actually exerted on that trolley, when the force to be concerned about is when you're pulling. When you're pulling, the amount of force you're putting on that top rope is pretty big. So that's the thing you got to worry about. And so when I do my video, like, I'm only going to show so much with that. I'm not going to say this is how I built my gantry, like, no. So it's just going to be short.
You guys, after you debut your video, Chris, like, you and Rick could like do a video, like side by side. You guys could both be out there with your little
We could hook them up and see who's the stronger.
And I can have my wrecking ball moment.
Oh God.
I want to come in like a wrecking ball on the thing.
Well, I shouldn't say I was lifting my kids. When I got the pulley set up, because I got a double pulley set up for mine, and to make it like a 4-to-1, I think, ratio. But when I did that, I took it out front and was explaining the whole using mechanical advantage to my kids, and they were lifting each other, and then like they couldn't lift me, but between my wife and my 2 kids, they could lift me, and then I was letting them lift compressors by themselves and stuff. So
I've seen a video. A guy did that. He showed one, or I think 2 pulleys, 3 pulleys, 4 pulleys, and started showing it multiplying and stuff. I even got one email on
the math. It's too hard. Someone asked me like, well, how much pull force are you going to, and I was like, I don't know, it's too much math. I started to watch a video on how to figure it out, and I was like, I don't know. It just has 4 pulleys on it. That's all. So
that's when you get the old-fashioned weight scale, man. Just put it on there and pull on it and look and see where it gets in there.
Yeah, I fishing scale is what I need.
Yeah, that'd be the easiest way to do it. I ain't into all that working hard stuff. That's too much calculations. If I was a mathematician, I wouldn't be a freaking service guy.
There's a formula, and all you do is plug the numbers in the formula.
That's why I have you do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
That's not my thing. Yeah.
So what's 18 doing tonight? How come he's not here?
I don't know, man. I had a surprise for him too. I sent him a link.
And
Sent Curious one. I didn't bother sending Joe because Joe don't reply half the time. So I thought,
dirty Canadian.
Yep, he's dirty bacon.
I don't even have Joe. I don't think I. No, I might have Joe's email. I don't even think I do though.
I don't have his email. I have his phone. But I think it's his burner phone though, because I mean sometimes things go through. Sometimes you wonder if he's even getting it.
No, one time Bill sent me a screenshot. Someone sent me I think it was Bill sent me a screenshot. It might have been Joe's phone. I don't know though. So
yeah,
Joe won't even give me his address.
No, I still have his shirt here, and he hasn't even given me his brother's yet to send it to him.
Yeah, we need Luigi's numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're covering it up, Chris Volt. Yeah, the filter the sock filter. I mean, the only time I heard that talk about was more in boilers where they had it in the water system, and that's why I was wondering if you had it in an air handler. Because I mean, the ones I've seen are like round and they look like a sock, and then they go in there and it screws on metal top, and the water goes through it and it catches the gunk. And the only place I've ever seen it is on on boilers and stuff and water loops. There's another one in there too. What they said.
Winston Wright. I hope that I replied to you too. I can't remember if I did or not, but thank you very much. That was a very nice email if I didn't. So I know I read it though.
Bill said he could message him. Bill's watching under his real name and not his curious name.
Is that his last name?
I'm guessing.
No, that's not Bill.
No, because he's saying he wasn't mentioned.
Bill.
I've got him on Facebook, so I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got it. It ain't a big deal. I mean, not everybody is like,
Shannon said Joe's too busy doing good deeds.
Yeah, that's right. He's milking a moose.
Ew.
Putting in another air conditioner.
He's tapping a tree for maple syrup. So,
question, Chris. So, have you gotten any dirty pineapple pictures since Friday?
It actually was really disappointing. Nobody has come through with. Even when I said that about everybody else, I've said it about Bill and I've said it about Adam. Like, hey, you guys need to send like obscene pictures. We got one like funny one kind of where someone put my picture on a pineapple or something, and then there was a pineapple doing something to a piece of pizza, but nothing like what I was expecting people to flood everybody else's inboxes with. So
well, that's disappointing.
I like pineapple on my pizza. I think it's really good.
Same here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they're the ones that are in the wrong.
Okay, now this is hilarious.
How long has Laura been in the field?
I'm not. I'm just an evil genius.
I did take her on a job that I was helping a friend out with, and I showed her everything that I helped with and stuff, and kind of questioned her on some of the things of what they were. What's the evaporator? What's the line set stuff? Fairly easy for most of us, but she knew what most of all of it was and things like that, and asked where the TXV was and blah, blah, blah. So, she's catching on. Kind of goes to show you're around it and you keep talking about it and you see things done. I mean, you're going to pick things up. I mean, I started watching this guy as a Canadian electrician, his lineman, and he goes out and runs, no electricity calls and is replacing transformers. And he was showing how he ended up running a high voltage line off of like I forget how many volts it was, but he powered a house off of one leg off of that and showed how he did it with a step down transformer. He basically ran it backwards and stepped it up, I think it was, or what have you. So I learned something, and I'm not even a lineman. So there's all kinds of cool things you can learn off these different YouTube videos and stuff, which is cool.
That I haven't been watching anything educational, and I've just been watching entertainment. I watched a guy that is in Utah. It's called Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and he just drives a yellow Jeep around and pulls people out when they get stuck in ditches. He has like a legit towing company, and I watch his videos all the time. And there's a couple other just random YouTube videos that I watch. I've not been watching anything technical lately.
Well, there's one called Millennial Farmer, and one of the guys I work with that really loves my channel here told me about it, and I watched it finally to check it out. And this kid, I shouldn't even say kid, because I mean he's in his mid-20s or higher, and he farms with his dad. But basically, John Deere and all the big manufacturers are constantly providing him tractors and tools and big stuff like that to use in his videos because it's free advertisement for them. And I mean, a tractor like that is anywhere from $350,000 to $400,000, depending on whether it's a combine or something like that. And he's getting this stuff to use for the year for free. So you want to talk about making some money?
Here's an interesting comment, which I don't know if I could do this. They said practice removing coils and rebrazing them in, which I don't think I Well, so I know brazing is different than welding, but I can't I can't run a welder now that I have my stimulator. So would I be able to, I would be able to run.
Brazing is temperature only,
Yeah,
where
because
welding
there's
is
no
electrical.
So then I would be able to braze. You could teach me how to braze. See how good I am. Bet you I'm pretty darn good.
Well, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's really an art. I mean, it's basically once you learn how to set up your flame, it's just really controlling your heat and, watching the flame, watching your temperature, watch your copper change color, stuff like that.
But then I get too hot and I'd start sweating because there's fire involved and I just have to be kept frozen.
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah.
True story.
You don't get that brazing.
Good grief.
I don't think I do. I don't know. But also when I do things, I'm kind of in a zone and I tend to ignore a lot of stuff. So maybe you do get hot. I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, it was like I had the opportunity to fix an evaporator, but I really didn't want to. It was for a school. I found it on Friday. I'm probably going to use the footage for the Detector review, but basically I found like 3 or 4 different leaks, and I thought I was getting like just bleed over from one big leak, and here it was multitudes, and I'm thinking, man, if I fix this, it's just going to leak somewhere else. Or if I fix it, it's going to buy them time and they're not going to replace it like they need to. So I just said, you know what, we're just rejuicing it. We're going to get you a quote on a new one because it's a tiny little thing. I mean, this is a bone coil about yay big. Yeah. What's the point? I mean, it's got to be, a lot less than what a normal one would be. So we're just going to quote it for them, and I'm going to quote converting it over at the same time.
I got an opportunity to use the new Stratus leak detector. It's pretty cool. Pretty nice.
Yeah. And that's the thing I found on mine. It's got little things that I found that aren't as good as the H10, but overall, it's the one I'd rather go for, that or the Detect 3, which is the other one. So
Stratus. Yeah, well, the Stratus found leaks that my Detect Select couldn't. So someone came out that had a few different leak detectors, and we were trying the different leak detectors, and this was on a 410A system that had leaks embedded in the evaporator coil, actually multiple leaks on multiple stages. And eventually, once I found the leaks with the Stratus, I was able to go back to that spot and grab it with the Detect Select. But my initial passes with the Detect Select, I didn't find it. But I learned some stuff too. And I'm not a person, I don't know about you, but like I don't like reading instructions. So
no.
The person that brought the leak detector for me was educating me on how the Stratus works. And I'll put it on the PPM readout. And he's like, no, the PPM readout is actually less sensitive.
Absolutely.
You want to put it on the auto range or the whatever, so that was, but it was cool. I was very impressed, and I will consider purchasing one. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, but the Detect 3 is about $400 cheaper, and it has the same sensor. It's the same detector. It just doesn't have the parts per million. Yeah. And like he said, the parts per million is not as sensitive. I mean, you're better off to put it on the traditional mode. That thing is so responsive. When you get near it, it doesn't lock out and then like have to take a long time to reset. I mean, it literally beep. I mean, away from it, boom, instantly right back to it. Yeah. So, but this one here, and granted, it was a different refrigerant too. I was running 134A. It had about 35 pounds of pressure in it. And it was sitting there static, nothing running, completely dead silent, no movement of air. And I found it with the H10, but I couldn't find it with the Stratus. But, I bent the fins over, went back at it, and I'm a little bit, do I show this, but then again, I don't want to sit there and mislead people either. So it's kind of like, well, here's what I found, but, it doesn't mean that it's not a good detector. It just means that it may be better at one particular refrigerant over the other. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if I would have hit it with nitrogen, it probably would have found it, but,
And that's what I told the person that brought the leak detector that I was using, because I was kind of educating him on how they work and stuff because he's not a refrigeration person. So, but he was educating me on the processes of the Stratus. But when I was telling him, I go, normally, like at this point, I didn't find it with my Detect Select. I probably would have just pressurized with nitrogen and I would have made the leak. So I would have found it no problem. So,
yeah. I love the battery life. I mean, the battery life is huge on it because, I mean, a lot of times you can't find it immediately. And the H10 is going to go dead in about probably 2 hours if you're lucky. So, I mean, and it charges in 3 hours, which is a huge advantage over the old Select. And it is more sensitive than the Select also. I mean, it comes in at 0.03. And, I mean, granted, obviously, they never really find 0.03, but it shows to be, quite a bit more sensitive than what the Select is. But
I never had the opportunity. Well, I shouldn't say I never had the opportunity, but I found an old halide leak detector in some of my dad's tools when I was very young. And I remember taking it to work with me one day and trying to figure out how to use it. And I just really wasn't very good at using it. So, but I'm not old enough to really have been using a halide detector. It was just something I did for a novelty, basically. But it was interesting to know that they came up with that concept of, the metal change or the flame changing the color when the refrigerant went across it. Basically, it's a cool concept.
When I was going to school for it, I was working at a place that sold everything from farming stuff to automotive, whatever. And I remember walking into the store and I seen the guy actually using one on one of the refrigeration displays. And other than that, that's the only time I've ever seen one used. And it ain't like I went over there and said, "Hey, how's that work?" So they were never real popular.
Would a halide leak detector work with the non-chlorinated refrigerants?
Supposedly it won't.
Because it's only the chlorinated refrigerants that made the flame change, right? Because it's the FOS gene, right? Isn't it?
From what I've been told, yeah.
I'm kind of curious if someone in the chat would say different or otherwise. But yeah, I think it was the chlorinated refrigerants. So
I think you're correct. When they went to the other stuff, it went away and doesn't seem to work. But then the other thing too with the H10 or any of the chemical sensors, I mean, they lose their sensitivity to different refrigerants at different times, whereas the infrared stays consistent the whole time. So I mean, that's another big thing. And 410A has always been a hard one to get with the H10 sometimes.
Chris Voigt, I don't know what liquid spray is. I've never even heard that before. He was asking about using liquid spray to check heat exchange.
I've heard of it before. I'm trying to think. We spray it on the heat exchanger, and I think it changes color or something if it's got something leaking out of it.
Oh.
But yeah, I usually visual is the best way to look it over. I like getting my mirror out or inspection camera and get in there and visually inspect that heat exchanger. That's usually the best way. Now, way back in the day when we had a lot of oil furnaces, we'd use smoke candles, and that was how we'd do it. We'd throw the smoke candle in there, put rags in the doors and stuff and the access panels, and then wait to see if there's any smoke coming out through the top of the heat exchanger.
Yeah.
What?
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Well, how many viewers?
Don't even. Don't even address any of that drama.
I don't even care, man. I don't care.
So much
whatever.
on YouTube
it's not even worth it. It's like whatever.
Nope.
I'm just having fun, man. That's all it's about. Having fun. 96 people. Awesome, guys. Make sure you hit that like button if you would, please, out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of a quiet weekend, thank goodness. I haven't had much going on. This week went fast. Like I said, I was doing things I really didn't want to do all week, and so the week went rather quickly, and I didn't do a whole lot yesterday, and really didn't get a lot done today either. So
I don't know about you, but I've been getting, that I've been getting a lot of service calls lately, but I've been having to get out of my state of mind. In the past, it was instinct for me on the weekends. Like it was just put out the fires and we'll go back and finish it up later. And I've been having to stop doing that. And I've been trying to solve the problems so I didn't have to go back later, because I have so much going on right now that I don't have the time to go spend a whole day there on Monday. And honestly, people have said in my comments, like, how do you charge the customer to clean all that equipment? You could have just, put a mister on it and gone back and cleaned it, not on overtime. And it's like, you know what? It's not all about saving them money when they're calling me at an inconvenient time to fix this stuff. Like they're calling me, I'm going to fix it. Like I'm not playing games anymore. It's got to get done, and I've got it because I don't have time right now. I don't have time to play these games. Yeah,
especially when you're busy like that. I can fully understand it. I mean, you're just going to have to how much does it cost to drive all the way back there, unload your truck again?
Really, like I've done the math sometimes, and it's like, dude, by the time I add another truck charge, come back out, like realistically, I can just fix it today and be done with it. Yeah, it'll take a little time, but they're going to save on the travel time back. But yeah, so like, I think like last weekend I had a refrigeration rack that had some burnt wiring, and I rewired the whole rack. Yeah, I could have gotten it going, but it was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to get this done, so that way it's not something I have to worry about during the week, and just get it done. But even last night, like I was out really late with flashlights fixing air conditioners. There's no reason for that, but I mean, it was just like, okay, changing contactors, redoing electrical. It's like, but now I don't have to go back,
Correct.
So,
I don't see nothing really wrong with it. I mean, as long as you're working, you know, why not? It gives you a chance to try out those new flashlights and stuff like that. I've been buying all kinds of different Milwaukee lights and stuff. So I've got the 3000.
I bought a new Milwaukee vacuum.
Oh, dude, I love my vacuum.
Well,
Which one did you get?
Well, before I had the DeWalt, and I really like the DeWalt, I'll tell you, because it could be plugged into a standard electrical outlet or it could be cordless. That was a really cool feature about the DeWalt. The Milwaukee is just battery operated, but I got the square looking box thing that holds the battery and whatever.
But the hose is inside the top, right?
Yep.
That's the newest one. I love it, man. I on a 6 amp hour battery, I can get 15 minutes out of it. On the 8 amp hour, I think I got a good 20, 25 minutes out of it. I mean, that's more than enough to get most things done. And I love how easy it is to clean it out. I mean, I can suck a drain line out or whatever, and then rinse it out and boom, on to my next thing. And then I bought the leaf blower, and I bought the other little blower. I mean, I've wasted so much money on Milwaukee stuff lately. It's ridiculous.
The blower is like amazing when it comes to microchannels and cleaning out the water and stuff like that. Even sometimes you don't even have to get the hose out on a microchannel. Just take the blower to it.
Yeah.
Blow the thing out if it's just dust, you know.
I bought that big leaf blower one. That thing was $160, and I mean,
I have the mini leaf blower one.
I got both.
Yeah, but
I love it.
I have the ridiculously expensive, I think it's the 9 amp, whatever the biggest amp hour battery that Milwaukee sells.
The 12.
It might be a 12. It's super heavy. I want to say I looked up the price one time and it was like $250 or something. It's
that sounds like the 12. I had a chance to get one of those on Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of people, I think they got family members that work at Milwaukee, brand new. I had a opportunity to get it for $100. And I was going to get it, but then I got thinking about it. It takes a whole lot longer to charge and everything else. And it's like I could recharge 2 6 amps faster than that. And then, you know, they're going to last longer because you got 2 of them, double the life.
Do you have the rapid charger? Because I have a rapid charger for the Milwaukees.
I've got the second one they came out with, which is the rapid charger. Now they got the super fast one that's like 3 times faster.
I don't think I have that, but I have a rapid charger that can do the 12 volt and the 20 or 8, whatever. Yeah, I have that one.
I got 2 of those.
Okay. I have one. It's nice. It does good, and I like it. It charges a lot faster than my DeWalt chargers ever charged. So, and
they say the batteries are better. The new ones they came out with have the newer bigger battery in it. The other ones were like 1820 or 1860 cells, and now these new ones are like a 20 something cell. It's a bigger cell overall, and so they're lasting longer and stuff like that. So I mean, biggest thing I got into was the 12 volt stuff. I got the soldering iron, so if I need to make a repair, you know, there's times where you have no choice, but you know, can I resolder that thing to get them by until I get the right board because it maybe burned off a relay or something or whatever. I've tried that on a ice machine. It didn't work, but it was the terminals on the Romex connector. Basically, when I move it up, it would work, and when I pull down on it, it would stop. And I'm like, crap. You know, I went in there, resoldered all of them, but because of all that freaking garbage they put on it, I wasn't able to get it to solder up correctly. What are you doing? Whatever.
Now listen, this is fabulous. Look at that.
That's the secret, is people don't know that I've had Impact for like 15 years of different types, but I just know how to use the Impact, and I rarely use it. I only use it for what I need to use it for. So, and I am acting with Rick when I say trigger control too. So I'll make a shirt that says trigger control, just control.
Oh, that's all right. Everybody's got a small picture somewhere.
We could make our own YouTube music video of trigger control and small picture diagnosis and all that kind of stuff.
I tried to get Dave to do something with the trigger control, finger control, I think was what I called it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, that'd be kind of cool, but he never responded back. So I don't know if he don't like me now, or if maybe he's just so busy over there doing stuff. Maybe he don't watch me no more. I'm not cool no more for him. I had him over here once, you know, and he talked on the show and stuff, and then never heard from him again.
Yeah, I don't know.
He used me like a woman. So, yeah. I still watch him, though. I still like old Dave.
I do, too.
Dave does some really cool videos. I learned a lot off of him.
He cracks me up. I'm just there for the
I've
comedy.
watched it for years.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it forever. I mean, and he has a special way. I mean, he's definitely the comic relief and stuff, and has always something funny to say. It's what I like about him.
Just an easygoing guy, and that's the thing. Just super easygoing, and He doesn't really he beats to the tune of his own drum for sure, and kind of does what he likes to do, and I think that's good. And he has mechanical skills, so good for him. He can have fun. That's the most important thing. So
yeah, and he works on a lot. I mean, the stuff he's doing here is like baby's play compared to what he's playing with at
what he
work.
works on at the college.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, he's working on big honking stuff, and I'm like, really? I'm like, because I always wondered. I'm like, before I figured it all out, I'm like, all he does is these little systems over and over and over again, and it's like, yeah, it's just his little business he does in addition to his freaking big job, And he's like, yeah, we got chillers, we got this, we got VAV systems, we got all this, and I'm like, oh wow, that'd be cool. Yeah, but I'm not able to record nothing, so it's like, oh, that sucks. But that's the same thing with me. I mean, I've got some grocery store videos that I haven't been told I can't, but I have a feeling I better not. And then same thing with a few of the other. I know for a fact I can't on a couple of the food processing ones because of proprietary information, stuff like that, and they just flip out, and you're risking losing lots of money if they would say never again are you coming back. So they got some interesting stuff that you can see and stuff like that, but we didn't bring no water down here.
I was just thinking that.
Did. That's what I was like, ooh, I need to bring a drink with me.
I know. I didn't. I had some down here, and it just kind of disappeared. Yeah. I love you. Bye-bye.
That was a bummer. It was my, this whole weekend has just been a cluster F, and it was my daughter's birthday weekend. So, I was working the whole weekend. Luckily, I was able to come home Friday early and get to have dinner with her Friday, which was her birthday dinner. So I was like, okay, cool. But then yesterday she went to to a shopping mall with her friends and stuff, and it was kind of a bummer not being able to go do that stuff. But that's the life of a service tech. So
yep, I could only imagine the guys that don't have a clue what they're getting into. I mean,
and this isn't even supermarket. I give props to those supermarket dudes that pull 100-hour weeks. I couldn't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy when I was looking. When you listen real closely to what Refrigeration Rookie was saying, he's like they had up to 3 people on call, and they all took turns on getting the next call. And I'm like, holy crap, it would suck. I mean, granted, I'm the only person, and when back in the day we used to have backup. So if we got hammered, if you had more than 3 calls to do, then you were supposed to call your backup guy to get help. Here we don't have anything. I mean, nothing in paper. I mean, if you really needed it, I'm sure they would probably come. But we don't have nothing. I've had times where I've lost big motors and stuff like that, and it's like, I can't leave. So what am I going to do? So I'm at one of your other stores. Sorry, this one's bleeding, so I got to get this one under control before I can go to that one. Thankfully, this last time I was on call, I only got 1 call, and it was fairly easy. And I was all hyped thinking, oh, God, I'm going to get hammered again. Here we go. We're coming into the cold season, so things are going to be going the other direction, which is how it happened in the summertime. But, yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, we don't. In the past, we used to have crazy on-calls, and back when I'm talking 10 years ago, when the restaurants really were spending money like crazy, and they would call us out for the silliest stuff on overtime, and we couldn't keep up with it all. But it's definitely calmed down. And then this summer was an interesting summer, and it really didn't hit us till the end of the summer. It's still technically still summer, but it really hit us at the end, and it got kind of crazy. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, back in my beginning days, we was one of the largest residential companies. So, I mean, we would have, if it got below 32 degrees, you're going to run from, we used to get off around 4:30 area. We'd run probably until 9:30, 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't uncommon to get home, go to sleep, maybe get a call at 1, go run it, get home maybe at 2:33, and then get a call at 4, go back out again. And, and it never failed because, I mean, we had so many, it was a Linux dealership, so they called them planned service customers. So they're like, hey, I have that contract. I get a discount. Come on out, or it's no overtime anyway. So yeah, come on out. So
yeah, I'm over that. And I don't think I've really been doing a lot of reflecting on everything this summer and thinking about it. It's like, man, we don't charge enough for these overtime calls, because what I go out there and do, and it's like to walk away for just $450, for an hour, 2-hour call. It's like, that's not enough. Yes, it's good money, but it's not enough for the stress and the strain and stopping your life. And,
we upped it to an extra $50 for convenience fee so that they can pay us $300 to be on call. whereas before it used to be like 150, which, that's more than I ever got paid any place I was at before. But we get $300 whether we get a call or not, plus time and a half, which...
Oh, see, and I was just talking about charging the customer. That's not what we as techs make. But
no.
We only have like $100 incentive, basically. You get paid time and a half for every call you take, and you just get $100 incentive to answer the phone, basically, is what we have.
We get 300, and that happened, but we're charging the customer $50 extra per call to help make up that money. If we don't get no calls, the company has to obviously take that out of the profit, but... Yeah. That's to help, because when you divide it out between 7 days, it's maybe $25-$30. I forget what the math was, but when you're getting those calls, you still don't care if it was $1,000. You just don't want to freaking go. And not to mention if it gets real late at night, it never fails. Like a lot of these businesses or grocery stores or food processing, they switch shifts late at night, or the manager's leaving, and then they'll tell the other guy, and it's like, yeah, I was doing it like 7 o'clock last night or tonight, but now that it's like 11:30, and you're thinking by the time I get there, it's gonna be 12. Then when I get it figured out and finished and all that crap, it's gonna be 1:32. And by the time I get home, it's gonna be 2:30. I'm gonna be wound up. I'm not gonna fall asleep. It'll be 3 o'clock, and then I got to get normally 6:30ish area. So it's like, this is gonna suck. That
so
sucks.
Where it's really at, and it's funny because supply houses generally, the supply house counter guys really don't make that much money. But when they have their crazy on-call weeks, in my area, the supply house counter guys, the way they used to do it was they would get paid normal hourly rate or their normal wages to come in basically for an emergency call, but they would charge us a convenience fee to open the supply house, and that would go in the pockets of the supply house guys, and they would charge that every time. So if the supply house guy basically went in 12 times, he made $1,200 just in pocket fees, and then he got paid hourly too. So those guys in the summertime would do pretty good. So.
Yeah, I think ours is somewhere around 50. No, it used to be 50. I think it's up to $75 is what they charge us to open up. 75, and some of them are 100.
Yeah. But now they tax the guys on it. Before they didn't. When things were different, they would just they would pocket the guys cash. But now it's just a bunch of political crap. So
yeah, Chris Volt, that was every time you're on call. So that's a week, and sometimes we're on call maybe every 5 weeks. Sometimes it's 4. I've had times where I was on 1 week, off a week, back on again, but then I had like a 6 week, 7 week off. So this was kind of a weird time.
But we don't do 7-day on call. We only do 3-day on call. But still, you get your $100 for being on call.
Oh, that ain't bad.
But ours is weird though. So I set this up a while ago because we used to do a week on call, and what we found was everybody was exhausted. So what I do now is we have 7 days in the week. Okay. The on-call guy gets Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and everybody else gets 1 day during the week.
Oh, that's cake, man.
It rotates every week. So you don't get the person that gets 1 day a week, you don't get the same day every week. And so the guy who's on call on the weekend doesn't have to take Thursday through Monday either. So he's only on call Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that way it was to eliminate people from being exhausted, after a 7-day on call working crazy hot summer crap. So,
yeah, I can't complain. The beginning of the summer, that was probably the worst because, I wasn't working in these grocery stores during the day. So I'd forgotten where a lot of things were at because I worked for a company that used to have the contract prior to coming where I'm at. And that was 20 years ago. So, I remember the stores to a point, but I only worked for them for a short time. Chris, do you pay yourself the $100?
No.
If you're a smart business person, they don't take a lot of money out. They'll just enjoy the things the company provides, like the truck and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to be smart about your business stuff.
Perks.
I remember.
You try to put everything you can legally through the company is what you try to do. So.
Absolutely. I remember my old company, the boss paid his kid $15 an hour, but he also provided him a bulldozer, a skid loader, a dump truck, and all the other things that come along with it. And granted, he was only like a couple years into the field, but I understood the principles behind it, and how the tax stuff works. You're better off to work the system the way it's designed than to try to be evasive because
holy crap, Chris Voigt gets 100% of the invoice labor less parts.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
How's the company get paid? You're saying on the labor?
Make how much money off of parts? Because we make our money off of labor lately. We don't sell very many parts. So that's insane.
And our markup on parts is not real high either. I mean,
now wait, when you say you get the 100%, is that's got to be just the profit? 100% of the profit. They can't give you 100% of what they charge because then they're losing money.
Absolutely.
He's an owner partner. That's what he just said.
Then that's different.
Okay. Got it.
132. Holy crap. 1132 people. Okay, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up if you would, please. I think that's my record right now.
That's
I appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thanks, guys.
I'm using him. I'm using him for his popularity. Boom. Got him,
And I guess Jess is on. She's running away from politics, apparently, tonight.
Yeah. Can't win on it. They all suck. It's just which one's going to screw you worse.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And you got to accept the fact you have no control.
No. I think it's all an illusion. I think they all go back behind the closed doors and say, did you believe they took that and believed that?
She wants the pickle.
A pickle says, bite me. So here, take the pickle and go away.
She loves playing with the pickles because they squeak really loud.
Take it.
She's looking at like...
You're better off sending a question if you have it to an email. It's hard to answer questions on the air. So.
Ooh, a 2-door True deli cooler. You know your True stuff.
Yeah, we sell True. Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to do it here, and not to mention people probably aren't going to want to hear about it. Well, because we can get into a deep discussion, but either email Chris or email me, whichever.
Email Rick. Rick's good with True. I'm just guessing.
HVACR survival at gmail.com. I'll look for it.
I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Yeah. Well, it's underneath the in the description area, and it's underneath that in my.
Ain't nobody got time for descriptions.
Yeah, whatever.
The views on this channel have nothing to do with me because they didn't advertise me, so nobody knew I was going to be on here. So the views
he
are
was
all
bonus content.
He's just joking.
I'm stroking his ego.
The views are all on Rick.
Stroking the ego.
He's stroking your ego, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it probably was, man. It was because I sat there and played your song, man. As soon as I brought it in, people heard it. They heard it. It was bleeding through the different channels. It was coming through the different channels. So they had that freaking what is it? Tele something or another. What is it?
Telekinesis.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite it. Yeah.
My new electronic music. That's my
I do like
that one.
I really do like that one.
Actually, I don't want to get rid of my. I won't lose my normal intro, but I just love that electronic. I love that 80s intro. It just
it's awesome.
So many different 80s movies, and you're like, oh yes.
It kind of reminds you of some sort of Karate Kid thing from back in '84 or something.
Karate Kid. I think of there's so many things. I think of Captain EO. The Michael Jackson ride. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Disneyland, but the Captain EO ride, and then they made a movie about it too. So
yeah, I went there. Gosh, back in '94 area after I graduated, and we went down there. But I went to Epcot. Yeah.
What is the DLC content? Laska Lives is saying Chris is the DLC content you need to pay extra for. I got you. I'm assuming you're saying I'm bonus content or something. I think is what I'm getting from that.
Is that download content?
I don't know what
What's
DLC.
Yeah.
But I think I understand what he's saying. He's being sarcastic, saying that you got to pay extra from my thing or something like that.
Okay, I'll give you all my profits I make from this video. I think I get about $5, something like that.
Oh, DLC, according to Wikipedia, is downloadable content.
There you go.
There we go.
Your downloadable content, Chris?
I stole it right off his channel. I actually took his last 2 shows, live shows, and I stole it right off of it. Downloaded the whole thing. And so if you guys actually wanted to listen to it in a podcast form, you can literally just, download his whole audio and just listen to it.
Pirate my audio.
Yeah, just listen to it on your own convenience.
Which, speaking of, Chris, I have a bone to pick with overtime. I was very disappointed. I feel like I've been left, empty from that little stunt you guys pulled on Friday. Just
that wasn't me, by the way.
Well,
I was scheduled to not be on the show, and they came up with that brilliant idea to screw with everybody. So yeah, that was pretty funny, actually.
I felt very empty and alone afterwards. And then, they didn't go live on Friday or on Saturday like they said they were going to.
Yeah.
We
were talking back and forth, and they were like, I think something came up, and a couple of them couldn't come, and I was like, well, I was working, so I was only going to be able to call in, and I was like, well, then I'm just going to go live on my channel. And I went live for a little while, but I got to figure out that whole audio.
We got an amen on my comment. Look
Why
at that.
can't you? I mean, does your phone have a headphone jack on it?
Yeah, I tried the headphones. It was because I had bad internet. So,
But I mean, couldn't you have used your Rode little pocket mic thing?
yeah, that's the plan. I didn't have it with me then, but I figured out, like, that time I called into your show, I had the headphones on, and the
That
audio
sounded
was
good.
so much better with the headphones. But I even had the headphones on when I was working on that call, and the internet quality. I was getting alerts on my phone from my streaming software, and it was telling me like you have low internet connection or something. So it was my internet that was really the problem. But it was
That's
weird. That my phone said 4G the whole time. Like it had full 4G, but yet it was saying low bandwidth or output, or I didn't understand. It was talking Chinese.
I've had that too lately, where it showed the 4G, but yet I couldn't even get a basic little thing downloaded to look at a manual or whatever. What's up with the thumbnail unit? It was kind of just to catch your eye. It was a unit I worked on. Yeah, I clickbaited you.
But no, he really, he
I mean,
really
it's a
worked
unit
on
I
it.
worked on. I did this summer, and I could have showed the other picture where I had the 8-foot ladder ratchet strapped to the front of that so that I could work on it. And it was actually low on refrigerant. But I literally had to work on it just like that. It wasn't probably the safest thing. I mean, I called the boss man. I said, "Hey, what do you want me to do here?" I said, "You guys are all about big safety and all this stuff." So I said, "You good with me doing this?" I mean, so he's like, "Yeah, if you feel safe." I'm like, "Whatever, I don't care. I just don't want to get yelled at for it." So I went ahead and got it done. But yeah, that was mainly because they did a transition way up in the air.
Now wait a minute. We should consult our resident other moderator here. That just happens to could hook you up with some phone stuff that like can tell you all the ins and outs, Mr. T-Mobile himself.
Yeah, he works for Sprint T-Mobile now.
So someone had just said too that maybe it's because my internet was being throttled. I don't think I've hit my cap to where they started throttling it. Even though I have an unlimited plan, they still throttle you once you get to a certain thing, but nobody's been using their data. So I shouldn't be at the throttle point on my Verizon plan.
It's pretty amazing how much it eats up, though, because, I mean, I honked through it. I don't even know how I did. And, I mean, we have 15 gig, and it said I hogged that up in, like, I don't know, not even 20 days. And I usually watch my videos at, like, 144 or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
my plan's, like, ridiculously big. It's unlimited now, but it's stupid expensive for how many phones we pay for and stuff. So,
well, when you're...
Our normal internet bill's $700 a month, I think.
Wow.
For our cell phone plan, I think for our company is like $700 a month or something.
One of these days I'll be big time like that.
That's for my business, my
Yeah, because you need internet for your business. Absolutely.
But it's the cell phone with internet and all that crap. But yeah.
There you go. There's they do throttle it.
Yeah.
Because Ethan used to work for Verizon, so he can.
He's worked for them all. He's worked for Verizon, AT&T.
He's like a little cell phone whore.
He is.
Like
He's
you
a
guys
cell
are
phone
HVAC whores. How you hop from company to company. He's a little cell phone whore.
That would make sense that they might throttle me because I was in a very congested place. I was at a very, very popular shopping mall that had just opened up. The entire parking lot was full. The movie theater was full, and I was working on top of the movie theater. And it's a very good possibility that they had a lot of congestion going on, because that would make sense, because I said I had full bars and full 4G, but yet it was saying it was just crappy connection, and it was like, what's going on here? So it's a very good possibility it was very congested.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're in town, was you?
Yeah, I was in town. I was very, very, but yeah, who knows? I don't know what Streamlabs does too, though, because I was streaming with Streamlabs, so they may really push out some crazy stuff or require, I don't know. I'm not very smart when it comes to the streaming stuff. So,
Ew, this is kind of creepy. No, not that. One of the guys said he just had a bat fly into his truck.
Oh, that's great.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah.
we have bats all over here. They're flying around it's dusk outside right now, so we can still see like a little bit of light, and you can see bats flying everywhere.
We don't have that too much here. Well, I don't think that they look like birds. So, I mean, maybe I'm just confusing them, because they're taking off the crops now. They're getting ready to take off the corn. They've already done a lot of the beans, stuff like that.
If someone out there knows anybody special in Verizon, you need to get me set up on that first responder plan.
Yeah.
Tell them I need priority service.
I like the one guy there. He's like, you can steal the restaurant's Wi-Fi to stream?
The restaurant's Wi-Fi would suck. They
Probably
would not be able to stream on the restaurant's Wi-Fi.
They're going to have it cranked down, I bet, more than anything.
Well, that, and they're not going to, you're not going to, I mean, I don't know what my phone does when I'm streaming via my phone, but I need at least 12 gigs up to have a decent stream when I'm at my house. If I don't have 12, and even at 12, it's going to be choppy. Normally I've got like 35 upload speed. So,
he does not need to work on his beard. Rick does not need a beard. He thinks he's rocking a goatee right now, and it looks like shit. See that? He looks like an 80s like kid toucher.
It's all right. My wife doesn't like my beard.
Yeah, her mother, we seen today, said, it looked good. It's fine. I'm like, I just was goofing around, figured, because sometimes it's like Friday. I don't do nothing with it on Saturday, Sunday. It's never grown right. And it's like, whatever. I'm like, one of these days I'll get old enough for it to grow. And it's like, it hasn't done it by now. But she's like, no, it looks stupid, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, whatever.
That awesome super chat from Hughes, man.
I know. I'm trying to find.
Hey,
that
Ryan.
thing.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Good video, too, on that last one there.
Ooh, you going to play Pink Floyd?
Yeah, there we go. Copyright infringement. Yeah. Hey guys, make sure you check out Hughes Man HVAC there. He's got a really good HVAC channel and he's actually been doing some really cool videos lately. He's been doing a lot more fancy editing and stuff like that. So definitely check him out. He's building his channel up and stuff. So give him some love.
Ooh, so Eric that commented on Chris's nice beard and how yours, you don't need one. He's from Sweden. That's pretty cool.
Sweden's cool. I'd like to visit over there.
That would be nice. I'd love to travel. I want to go on a vacation. It's been
so Rumi Official's Swedish. He's a Swede.
Who dat?
Rumi Official, that guy, the redhead guy that sings, that I've been watching lately.
Oh, the guy that does the hoofs on the cow?
No.
Okay.
Guess you had to be there.
Oh my
Ever Floating Deadly. I mean, holy mackerel.
You guys know who Rumi Official is. He does the music stuff.
I've thought about, I don't have enough footage to I have all this footage. It's like bits and pieces of stuff, but I have this one machine that's very unique, and it came over from, is a mixture between Sweden, Denmark, and somewhere else. And because the other countries had gotten rid of their CFC refrigerators long ago, this device basically had an assembly line approach. So they would get all these refrigerators brought into the business. They had a device that would puncture the compressor on these refrigerators, suck the oil out, reclaim the refrigerant. Then they'd clamp the compressor out and it'd throw it in its own little bin. Then the thing would go down a conveyor belt and eventually go up to this big machine, and it literally go in there and it has like a big log chain that's spinning super, super fast, beats the hell out of this refrigerator, smashes it into millions of pieces, and it ciphers it off, the metal from the foam from the plastic. And basically it's a recycling device. And this guy and this other guy, basically they designed it, and he looked like just a normal guy, but I'm like, he was telling me how much money he got paid to sell this machine to him, and he had like 3 or 4 of these things, and they're multi-millions of dollars. She's going to take out that light. And basically, I just only mentioned that because of Sweden, and it was kind of a cool HVAC thing, but they had a leak in this reclaim unit. It was a big industrial reclaiming unit, and I was trying to find the leak, but they're recovering refrigerant and technically leaking the living crap out of it. And basically, I ended up finding out they had dye in it, so I was able to look for it that way. But it basically, hey,
Careful.
Well, you made me bring her up there. Damien there said hi to Chloe.
You got a fan. He's saying hi.
Yep. So yeah,
my house is full of cats.
Sucks to be you.
Even have cats that like from the neighborhood that have made my backyard their house too.
Nice. We have names for
You've
people
got
like
the
that.
Pussycat Club over there. I had to. I'm sorry.
Forget the Playboy Mansion, man. Yeah, he's got the kitty cat.
He's got the kitty cat club.
She don't want to play. She wants to like. She's worse than a dang kid right now. Doesn't want to sit on your lap. Wants off your lap. Wants back on your lap.
And then she wants back on and off.
No, we ain't playing that game tonight. No, not
now she's licking my foot.
Well, she's been licking my leg. I'm tired of it. So it's like, give her a bone or something. Oh yeah, the grumpy old plugs are upstairs. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. They got into a fight again today. She ended up biting him in the leg again, and so he's like hobbling along, just barely making it by. So she's been beating up the oldest or second oldest pug. Yeah, you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been crazy. What else do we got going on here? Anything else? What the heck is a carrot top there?
Disregard.
Detecting Arizona. Be at 500 subs soon. I'm at 490.
Molnier. What is Lotto? He said, "Hey Chris, in the HVAC worlds, do you guys ever use or see Lotto in the field?" I don't know what Lotto is.
Loto.
Loto? What is that?
I don't know.
Search it. You were like in charge of this sort of thing.
All right, Google, take me away. Let's see.
Google. I don't know.
HVAC Loto. Put HVAC behind it.
Lockout, tag out, procedures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No comment.
Rick does.
I have a cool little bag with all the different things.
I need to do it more than I do it. So, yeah, I'm not very good at that. It's something I could definitely improve on.
I carry a lock on my device. I use it more when I'm in situations where somebody could screw me by turning the breaker on or something.
Like the air conditioner I was working on last night. The disconnect switch on the roof was disconnected and bypassed, and I had to turn off the main breaker in the restaurant at their panel, and then I had to climb up 5 stories on top of the roof and work on the air conditioning unit, hoping nobody turned the breaker back on.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's, I got multiple different little gizmo gadgets and stuff. We actually hired a safety director and stuff. And when you get so big, you got to get those sort of things to try to get better discounts on your workers' compensation and stuff like that. Yeah. In Ohio, workers' comp is only provided by the state of Ohio. So they have a monopoly and they can really stick it to you.
Yeah, definitely need to get better at that kind of stuff for sure. So,
yep. So yeah, we have the lockout tag out. I've got my 10-hour OSHA safety training. We've got some guys that's got the 20-hour. So we're big into the safety thing, so that they can basically disclaim that if they see me doing something stupid, like not wearing my safety glasses, which you'll see every now and again in my video, which I try to make sure I wear them, or not using a ladder, because ladder violations are huge. I've thought about trying to do a video on some OSHA stuff, but I don't want to mislead nobody and be wrong on some of it. So it's like,
yeah, some of that stuff, like I've thought about doing tutorial videos for that, but then it's like, man, the liability alone just doesn't seem like it's worth it to me. So,
or my luck, there's something that changes from one state to the other, and then
you made the video and it's buried down ridiculously far in your channel, and someone finds it, and then you'll just get a bunch of comments. It's the rules have changed, man.
Yeah, they don't realize, I made it like 20 years ago or something. Yeah. Yeah, biggest thing, strap your ladder, wear safety glasses, flame retardant clothing when you're doing stuff around fire, proper mask breathing apparatuses, proper shoes.
What about the, to keep that one up, but what about the question before? Have you ever worked out of a service truck, Rick?
What do you mean worked out of it?
Have you been in a service van your entire career, or you worked out of a truck too?
Oh, I've always had a van.
So yeah, I've had them all. Well, no, I've had them both. I've had a utility body pickup truck. So I had like a extended cab Chevy Silverado with a 10-foot bed on the back with, roll top and all that crap. That was the coolest as far as comfort goes vehicle to drive ever, because it was super quiet. You never heard any road noise. You never heard any van noise. It was extremely peaceful, but all your stuff, it was in these cool bins on the side of the utility bed, but then like your refrigerant and anything else was just in the bed. And it had a roll top, and it was just a pain in the butt to get to that stuff. And when it rained, you're standing outside in the rain, getting soaked, looking for parts, or you open up your lid to get your parts out and they're getting rained on. And then now I've been in a van for a long time, and there's goods and bads about both, but the vans are noisy. So
my van, although it's kind of goofy, I got a Nissan 2500, but it actually has, it's a good riding vehicle. It's got a big engine and it's pretty strong and fast, but it don't really have a whole lot more room. I would rather have my Chevy van back. That's my favorite van of all of them. But
so I'm assuming, is that your son, Rick?
Yeah, he's asking. Chris is about ready to hit 100,000. Ethan, he's at 80-some thousand people.
No, you don't get any plaques for 10,000. Supposedly, you get a plaque for 100,000. I think is what I've heard. So, but I've heard that you also don't get that plaque until you're damn near 150,000. It takes them forever to send it out to you, is what I've heard. So
yeah, Chris is at 88,000, 88.1 thousand right now.
Right.
What?
I just looked at the private chat.
Oh, you guys saw that?
Yeah, well,
Because that person might watch, but I was very proud of that.
Woo, congratulations. There was another good question up here. Where was it? Oh, here you go. This is what got blown up real bad.
No, but that's why they fuse protect a lot of the meters now. In the past, they didn't fuse protect them, and lots of bad things would happen. You could still blow up a multimeter now, but no, I've never done it. I've heard horror stories of people blowing up multimeters, but I personally have never seen it happen.
watch the Fluke safety videos. They've got some crazy stuff in there. I mean, the transient spikes. I mean, when you watch some of these electronic guys talking about the transient spikes, there's a guy that actually will test it. He has a little voltage generator that puts in, I forget how many thousands of volts, but it's instantaneous. And that's the whole problem with voltage. I mean, it's so fast that you never will see it, but it could cause the meter to explode and arc across basically the terminals. And that's why, depending on how they design it, it'll be a little safer and things like that. But yeah, I've always had at least a halfway decent meter. I mean, there's a few of them that I'd like to have that are small that I thought like a beater meter. That's what I usually call them. But no, I've never had one blow up like that. But I mean, it's very possible, especially if you're near like a factory, because that's where most of your transients come from, because they're constantly kicking on motor loads on and off and stuff like that.
What about putting a meter on 480 volts on continuity, accidentally leaving it on continuity or something like that? That's where I'd expect something to go boom.
Yeah, I mean, a few of them have voltage ratings up to, I think, 300 some area, but yeah, it's very short period of time.
I would expect if you had it on continuity, though, and you put it on, high voltage, that you might have an issue there.
I had, speaking of that, I was working on this one, and I didn't record it because there was so many violations, but basically it was a 480 volt packaged motor controller cabinet, and so it cooled the motor controllers, basically the variable speed controls, and they didn't have any disconnect box for this thing. All you had to do, you had to pull the fuses, and it was 3-phase. So you're thinking, okay, when I pull the fuses, I'm gonna pull them one at a time. So you're gonna single phase the unit on top of it. And it had a short or something prior to that. And here they wanted me to stick these things back in there. I said, no, either you're gonna get, I told him when we got done, you're gonna put a disconnect box in, or I ain't working on it. And I said, here, since you guys want to do this, and he goes, well, it's only 7 amp fuse. I'm like, okay, fine, put the things in there. So yeah, after seeing some of the arc faults and stuff like that, man, it's crazy what all can go wrong when you have an arc fault.
Yeah, some scary stuff. I've seen too many videos on YouTube and stuff. You ever seen the videos like where at the utility substations go wrong, like the switchgear and stuff and those things? And it's like, that's nuts, the explosions that happen from that stuff. Or
That's
even
wild.
Simply turning things on. When they go to turn switches on, like they just naturally arc, and it's like, holy crap, that's normal, and you hear the pop, and it's like, wow. It's crazy.
That'd be a little scary. 404, New York's going to the California on 404. I think technically, I thought everyone was supposed to like quit using it on new installations.
Yeah.
I mean, we used 407 CNF for a few things, but I think that 448 is some of it that's coming out. But I thought they were supposed to get rid of all the 400 stuff.
Yeah.
In 2022, it'll be illegal to fart in California.
Yeah. I think they actually had they were concerned about all the dairies in California, and they've been really trying to push them out because of the cow farts. They were worried about the cow farts causing global warming and high methane levels and different things like that. California,
holy poop on a stick.
Sounds about right.
Yep. I don't know where they come up with some of this stuff and how I mean, I'm all about taking care of the earth, but I mean, there comes a point where you got to take care of yourself first, I mean, the things that they don't make sense on. I mean, if when we were in the recession and everything else, and people barely have, a decent job, and they're expecting them to go out and buy brand new cars because it's more efficient. It's like, okay, but that'd be great if I had money to buy it, or now my food's more expensive because you've regulated everything in the business to make it more expensive. People don't understand all these things that, it's great to have clean environment, clean water, all this other stuff, but there comes a point where the breaking point is, you don't have enough money to do everything you're wanting to do. I mean, that new Green Deal scares the heck out of me. They're wanting to get rid of airplanes, cows, and everything within like 20 years, 30 years. Customers power cycling disconnects off and on several times. Back in the day when it was nighttime and it was residential, that was one of my little lines I'd have them do. Have you turned the power off to it
Have you
back on
turned it
yet?
back on? Have you turned it off and back on again? You think you're a little tech support?
Yeah, but
I honestly don't like walking customers through things because it just prolongs the inevitable, which is me having to go out there. So is there anything I can check? I mean, did you check to make sure it's plugged in? Yeah, because there's nothing worse than saying, did you check the breakers? Well, hold on, let me go back there. Well, I turned the breakers on and off. Let's give it a little while and see wait, was it tripped? No, but I turned it on and off. So let's give it a little while and I'll call you back. And then 2 hours later, and it's like, so now I'm sitting here knowing this call is going to come. And then 2 hours later, now I have to go. And I just hate prolonging the inevitable. And
I'll be direct with them. It's like, you know what? If we're going to do this, we're going to do it now while I'm awake. I'm not going to wait till it's super late and then I have to come out. No, not happening.
I've said that to them too. I've said, look, you call me in 2 hours, I'm not coming. So it's either now or I'm not coming. You guys make the decision. So.
Sometimes
and I feel like you can tell, like, when you get the call, a lot of times if, it's a fairly intelligent customer that's tried to work through the problem themselves versus, someone that literally can't get outside, like tear down a cardboard box to get out of.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, babe?
I was trying to see there because the lights are like blinding me and my eyes are
No, it's
dry and
because
everything else.
you need glasses.
No, I don't. I
Yes,
need
you do.
Just reading glasses for up small stuff. It says I should have been more clear. Then you're blanking it out till I can't see it. More clear talking in a package unit 3-phase disconnect. LOL. I don't remember nothing about the 3-phase disconnect.
Found it. Yeah, he was talking about that.
Oh.
I mean, if they're trying to turn, like in the situation that I was talking about, they're turning breakers on and off and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know the complete context of that question, but I mean, if a customer is going to power cycle a breaker, honestly, there's delays built into a lot of the logic. So it's really not going to do anything other than turn the power on and off. It's for the most part, unless it's a really old system and it's hardwired, every time you turn it on, both the compressors slam on. But for the most part, it's not going to be a big deal if they power cycle the breakers.
Well, on the Carrier, I mean, that's one way to get the 3-phase protection, the phase loss to reset.
Yeah, now, one thing I don't like about power cycling things is, if you're working on a Carrier package unit, you've just eliminated the faults. So now you still want me to come out, and I come out there and there's no active faults. So now I got to sit there and stare at it for 2 hours, waiting for it to do it again, So I'm not a fan of, I try to tell that to my techs and people that I'm working with. Don't turn the power off. Leave it on. Troubleshoot, check for safeties, figure it out, because the moment you power cycle it, you just inadvertently fixed the symptom and now we can't find the problem. So
yeah. And that comes down to being good about questioning them. Was it making any noise? Was it making noise inside or outside? They're not going to know the difference in the stuff. But if you say, was it making the noise on the inside when it was it quiet in there when you walked into that cooler? Was it completely silent? Did you hear anything going tick, 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 like something getting hot? All these questions you can ask the customer to try to give you more details to find the clues to the problem. So, I mean, that's a lot of it comes down to just asking the right questions to try to narrow it down. If you have one of those weirdo things, totally off subject, but it is what it is. Yeah. I do that. Anyone got a funny or ridiculous, memorable story while on the job? I had a lady once that where they beat you and stuff and you pay them to beat you.
Oh, yeah, dominatrix.
Yeah. She was showing me some of her whips and toys and things like that. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can't say I have any of those stories. I really don't.
You need to do more residential.
I mean, I've gone to like service call at a strip club. That was really nasty, actually. That was great. It was during all the lights were on, and you're like,
you never want the lights on in a strip club.
Like there was nobody there. I mean, it was just some dirty greaseball owner that was like, you could tell he wasn't going to pay me, smoking cigarettes like a chimney, and it's like, this guy don't got no money.
Collect. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and to think some people actually eat there. So yeah, nasty. All you can eat buffet.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Grody.
Yeah. You got any other ones in there or anything? You're supposed to be on this.
What caused a compressor to leak at the pins? Had one with a huge hole, but leaking at the pins, I mean, that could be a lot of issues. But the pins are definitely a soft point in the compressor. I mean, the pins are literally held in there by a super thick piece of rubber or almost composite plastic.
Are we talking semi-hermetic or hermetic, though?
I think it's both the same, isn't it? It's that same.
Well, on the semi-hermetic, you can take them apart and change the rubber O-rings around it, and it's like a compression fitting that will squish it out. So, I mean, I haven't had a chance to. I don't think I recorded that. It was several years ago that I did it. It was on a dairy truck. It was where it had a cold plate in there, and it got down. It wasn't for frozen food, but it was for 40 medium temp. And it had an old R12 unit down below the truck, and it was like what you would see at Schwann or something like that, but it was an independent dairy company that sold milk and things like that to the schools. And they was leaking not only on the flare fittings and a few rubber hoses, but it was leaking around the terminals on the compressor. And so once I got it all recovered, I literally had to take it and get a couple picks and pick all that out, and then you could replace the rubber around it. Whereas, if it was the compressor, the hermetic, it's going to be like a porcelain / whatever.
Yeah, I would say that on the hermetic compressors too, when the starting components fail, on the small hermetics, when they have loose connections and stuff like that, it starts to arc at the terminals, and that can cause leaks there too.
Yeah, or if you dump liquid into the compressor too quickly and it's really hot and it's low in charge, that'll blow them right out the front sometimes.
Yeah. I have people freak out when they see me pull compressor pins off of energized compressors. They think the damn thing's going to blow out in my face. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand people have seen crazy things happen, but there's just some things that we have to do when we're on a job, You
pulled the molded plug off the compressor while it's running?
I'll pull a Molex plug off of a Copeland compressor, the little round one, the little pop it off while it's running.
The disconnect was too far away to pull, or what?
Yeah, because I'm working on like a big Linux package unit, and the compressor's making a noise, and I don't want to shut down the whole unit. I'll just grab the and pop it off real quick. But I'm sure there's dangerous stuff in that. I'm sure people are correct when they say I do stupid stuff. I know I do stupid stuff.
I think I'd pull the low voltage off the contactor.
No way, not on a Linux unit, because you're getting your fingers in the top of there. You're too close to the high voltage.
Oh.
On a low voltage. I'd stand to the side and pull that plug off. You ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's probably low voltage.
Again, I'm probably completely wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of things that we sometimes don't show. So I mean, it's kind of
in our trade too. I've said this many times that you have to learn how not to react to things. And what I mean is, I'm working on a carrier package unit, and you have to put your gauges on the high side port that's 6 inches away from a running condenser fan motor, and you rub your arm on you touch your arm on the discharge line, and you freak out and you jerk your hand up into. I mean, you're working on. You have to learn how not to react. That's why my arm is ladled with burns, and you're just like, oh, that hurt. Okay, stop. Okay, move this way. Or you're getting you're in a situation where you get burnt and you jam your hand into an electrical device and you get you have to learn how not to react. Like, you just have to learn how to just be chill when stuff happens.
Especially on that carrier one that I had one just not even a month ago. I was doing it, and the freaking line was not even probably that far from the blade. And it's like, I'm disconnecting this thing and hooking it on.
You have to make that decision, but
Yep.
And then, like, for instance, walking, and this is one of the hardest ones, I think. And people, again, I'm not perfect. I mean, I preach stuff, and obviously I make the same mistakes, but let's say you go to slip in a restaurant, and you slip on the floor as you're walking to the restaurant. You need to just fall. You need to let it happen, because it's when you react and try to catch yourself most of the time that you hurt yourself worse, or you throw your back out. Like, if you're just going to slip and fall on your butt, let it happen. But when you freak out trying to grab, contort yourself and try to catch yourself, that's when you really hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Read this. This is funny.
Used to work on guy was working on a package unit at the top of the strip club, and he fell off the roof and woke up with strippers standing all around him asking if he was okay.
Could you imagine?
Where am I? What happened?
That wouldn't be all bad.
And he also said that they always pay you in $1 bills, and they're all sticky. It's kind of gross.
I did a late night service call one time at a Little Caesars Pizza, and the guy paid me a couple $100 in fives. And it was kind of like, wow, dude, I walked home with a wad like that big. What the hell? Like a big old wad of fives. But
It all spins the same. Yep, it's better than not getting it at all. We do a couple of them for the Caesars and stuff, and yeah.
So, interesting question.
How would you professionally tell the customer when asked to look at a cooler that was recommended to be replaced? When you look at it, you only find a faulty controller.
I mean, well, first off, here's how I would approach that. First off, I'm not going to throw another company under the bus. The way that I'm going to go to it is say, look, I diagnosed the unit and this is what I found wrong. I don't know why the other company came to this diagnosis, and maybe I'm missing something. So I'd be willing to go ahead and change the temperature controller. This is how much it would cost approximately, but I'm worried that there might be something else wrong that they saw that I didn't, and there's no way I can guarantee that this is going to solve the problem, but we can take this and go this route. We can try to change the temp control, see where that gets us, and move with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll ask who was there. I mean, if it was a company that has a reputation for being shady like that, then I might possibly say something, because I'm one of them people that usually says things he shouldn't say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
I try to hold my tongue as much as possible. I really do, because I let them murder themselves, basically. So.
But you're right. I mean, it does make sense, because you might be like, oh yeah, they tried to screw you, and then you screwed up and missed the thing that they seen, and then now you're just an idiot, don't really know how to diagnose it. So I mean, I can see it both ways, definitely.
Or in the same thing. Guess what? I go out to a true reach-in cooler that has R134A in it, and I say it has a bad compressor, and I tell the customer, okay, we need to change the compressor. In fact, I'm going to change the whole condensing unit. I'm going to change the capillary tube, and we're probably going to put a new accumulator in it. Now, another company might come behind me and say, we can put in a compressor. I don't know that the capillary tube's plugged up. I don't know that the oil's sludge. I don't know that the accumulator's full of nasty oil. But out of past experience, I'm going to quote it with that big repair. So the other company might come in and say, yeah, we're going to change the compressor. That's all that needs to be done. Then they change it. Then they realize it has plugged up capillary tubes. Were they wrong for saying the compressor was the only thing that was bad? Not necessarily, but maybe they don't have the experience that I know that, hey, this is a 134A system. It looks like it has a dirty condenser. I'm going to change all these parts out of experience because I don't want to fight it. So, sometimes people might quote something because of an experience, and they know, like, look, I'm not going to do this job unless I do it like this. So,
well, that's like that one I did. I don't know, it was several months ago. I changed the capillary tube and the evaporator on a Pepsi cooler. It was several months ago, and I went back again later because the capillary tube got plugged in the filter dryer, and then so I changed it again. Got called out a week later again. Finally, I told the kid, I said, I don't care. I've already done. I'm not getting paid for this. You just go ahead and do it. I would dump the oil. So now, after getting burned on that call, now if I have one that's been running low on charge or it's been in a vacuum and stuff like that, and I'll quote not only changing whatever's bad, but I'll want to dump the oil out and put brand new oil in it, because that oil usually goes bad and it floats into the cap tube and plugs things up.
Yeah, it's a mess. And I mean, actually, even True is on board with capillary tube replacements. True, if you have a compressor with a plugged up cap tube and a bad compressor, True actually recommends that you change the entire condensing unit. And even under warranty, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize. If you have a failed compressor, True will give you an entire condensing unit under warranty. No sweat. They'll either give you the compressor under warranty or the condensing unit. It's always easier just to swap out the unit. Get a condensing unit. They'll give it under warranty, no extra charge, easy peasy. So True actually has one of the better warranties of all people out there. And I actually, it's funny that they're like top of the line ones now, whereas the low budget, you got all these Korean brands that are super low.
Wow. You're starting to lose your bandwidth on your internet connection right now. You like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
Ike was upset that you didn't see his comment.
Yeah. I don't know if we can be friends, Ike, man. I like pineapple on pizza.
I was going to say, yeah, Rick likes pineapple on pizza.
I really like pineapple on pizza. I really do. I think it's really good stuff. I think Chris is frozen. Now there he goes. He just moved. But yeah. He's kind of boy.
I'm running. It's a little slow right now. I'm doing download right now is a little slow, but let's see. No, my upload's 37 gigs right now, or megabits per second.
Oh, we're still live. I mean, we're moving around.
Yeah, I wonder if it's StreamYard though, because I literally speed test while I was talking, and I have 38 up right now. So.
Yeah, well, she's sitting there watching us live on the other computer, so I mean that don't help some. I mean, I only got like 10 meg up, and then like 100, 120 down, but I
Well,
need
I'm
to.
gonna actually have to go anyways. I got to go eat dinner.
Yeah,
So-
that's cool, man. I appreciate you coming in and shooting the crap
Yeah,
with us and
thanks,
stuff.
Chris.
That makes it really, really good and stuff. So we definitely want to thank you and bid you adieu. Have a wonderful evening dinner there. Absolutely. I mean, we try to be as professional here as possible.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
All right, man.
Bye,
Thank you
Chris.
so much for coming
Thanks.
in. We'll see you. All right, guys. I do appreciate Chris coming in, taking the time to do that. It makes it so much more fun to do these live streams because a lot of times it's like, what is there really to talk about? I mean, we can talk about the videos. I don't have quite the following that he's got, so it's not real hard for me to still talk to everybody. So I'm still mainly talking to you guys directly when there's something going on. But if we do get up to that point where I can't get to everything, then I'll start talking about more about the videos on the live streams and stuff. And like I said, I really like just spending time with you guys and kind of going over things. It makes it fun and interesting for us in the evening and gives us something to do together. Because I mean, as you know, in the HVAC life, you're lucky you even see your family most of the time. So it's kind of an odd thing that we got going on here, but I think it kind of works out good and stuff. So I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. I think we did a pretty decent show. If you hit the like button on your way out, and if you haven't subscribed, if you would, please make sure you subscribe and maybe click that bell so you'll know when we release a new video. Joe Shear on that thing, the picture that I had on there, that was a job I did this summer. Where basically it was a bar or what have you, and obviously they had a curb adapter there for a different unit, and basically I had to work on it, which I ended up strapping the ladder with a ratchet strap so that it wouldn't fall, and I think it was low on charge, and I just had to do basic maintenance, which generally ends up being a good portion of what's wrong with most of these units anyhow, is they just don't get maintained like they're supposed to, and you end up going through and doing all the usual stuff: belts, cleaning the coils, checking the refrigerant charge, checking contactors, all that good jazz. So that's basically what I did in that call there, and I just needed something to kind of make for a thumbnail, because otherwise just seeing us on the picture or the logo just doesn't quite capture your attention and stuff. So but yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. I definitely...
You want to explain our matching t-shirts? Dave G said our shirts rock.
Yep. Better Together was something they had at church today. Basically, it was kind of going along with the Corona thing, where basically being together is better than being separated. Because, I mean, you've heard it before. A lot of this Corona crap is, not only is it just bad because people can't work, but by people not being around other people, the psyche of the natural human being, most people like to be around other people, and that causes depression and a lot of things like that. So that was kind of the premise behind it, that basically being together is better, and that was kind of the thought behind it and stuff. So
that's kind of the thought behind just life in general at this point, is being better. It's just better together, like doing these live streams and just having all that, communication with everybody in the chat, I think is really cool.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's something
I really
neat.
enjoy it.
I mean, I appreciate you guys coming in, the fact that I don't have to bribe you to come in here and stuff. I mean, you just actually enjoy hanging out with us, and that's awesome. You get to see what my real personality is and things like that, because a lot of times I'm not always the funnest person when I'm at work. I mean, I am working, so I got to balance recording it along with staying busy, because I don't want to take advantage of anybody. And, that's why a lot of tripods and stuff like that gets used and things. So it works out really awesome.
I think they're really just here to see me.
Honestly, since I have gotten no crap about it, I think it might be. So, I mean, who knows? Whatever. I'll use you for it. Don't like it. Tell them you get paid $50 to watch. Yeah, I pay a few of you guys $50 to watch. Why not? Jason Manning. We've been doing it every Sunday lately here at 8:30. We're trying to do it, as long as she feels up to it and stuff. I mean, we did one live stream on some of her issues and things like that, which was kind of an interesting one for some people and boring for others. But yeah, 115 likes, awesome. But yeah, we're trying to do it every Sunday at around 8:30, and it seems to be working out pretty good. Usually runs for about an hour and a half maximum. I like to at 2 hours. I don't want to make it too long because it takes forever then to process all the comments and stuff shows up a little bit late, but they'll eventually be up there. Do you ever work on other than refrigeration, random stuff for food, beverage, hot and cold? I mean, we'll work on anything, especially depending on who it is. I mean, I'll be honest with the people. You know, I've worked on conveyor ovens. You know, I may not know everything about it, so I'll just ask the cook, you know, how does this work? What's it do? You know, does it work at a certain speed? Does it do this, do that? I mean, it really comes down to just questioning the people, because you think about it, we do electrical, we do plumbing, we do heating, we do air conditioning, you know, everything, you know, we do furnaces, all that stuff is the same as an oven, whether it's electric, it's gas, whether it's a microwave. I mean, there's safety things you got to take involved, but I mean, I'll pretty much work on anything. I mean, we do you know, air compressor, air dryers. We do, what else do we do?
Oh, and Alexander said that he's done ice cream machines and he's learning hot stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of ice creams. We're a Stolding dealer. We sell those. So, I mean, I don't show a lot on that because ice cream is very specialized and there's not a lot of ice cream places out there. So for me to share that, I don't share a lot on it. That was one of the few things I've kind of kept quiet on a little bit. I mean, I'll show you leaked churches and changing the belt and a few little things. I mean, you can figure it out, but the fine tuning the machine on ice cream is kind of an art. And it's, you know, I've been at it now for 4 years or 5 years on that. So, and it's been a learning experience. I mean, especially when you don't know, you know, all the ins and outs on it, the slushy machines. I mean, you'd think it's no big deal, but there's stuff behind it. Kind of interesting. Anything else here?
Ooh, we got 6 thumbs down already.
Oh, I suck.
We suck again.
You know what's funny, guys? The ones that give me the thumbs down, it means you were here and you watched. YouTube doesn't care. They don't care.
Oh, Alexander said...
Did I get 7 now?
Oh, thank you,
Cool,
guys.
thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah.
Where was that? Alexander said he did Taylor machines, which you've done a lot of Taylor, and Advanced Basher. He's a Taylor guy. So there you go.
I don't do a lot of Taylor because if you're a Taylor, true authorized Taylor guy, you know you guys have got a monopoly going on. You might as well be part of the mafia. But I did, by doing the videos, this is one thing that was really cool about it, as I had a technician that had gotten out of the ice cream stuff, and he sent me all of his manuals that I needed. So that was really awesome of him because they're really hard to find. That's why I've complained to Stolding. I said, you guys need to not take phone calls from people that aren't dealers for you, because Taylor doesn't want to share their information when we shouldn't share ours with the other people. So definitely, if you guys would, please hit that thumbs up like button out there. I once again want to thank everyone for coming in, spending time with us and stuff. If you haven't subscribed, if you would, please do so. Check out Hughes Man HVAC there. He's got a bunch of videos too. He's a great guy and does some really good videos and stuff. So make sure you check him out. What else do we got on? I think that's pretty much about all of it, I believe. So I've been trying to release the videos usually on Thursdays, but I think I might try to keep it now on maybe Saturdays. That way, it seems to be my higher views are on Saturdays and Sundays. And basically, you know, I may try to start throwing some little ones in there that are maybe mixes of things that I couldn't really make into a big video. Yeah, I know, Chloe thing.
Yeah, she's curled up on the chair tonight. She's tired.
Yeah, I mean, we could zoom pan over there. Keep going. There she is.
Chloe girl. Her little ears. There's a radar.
Yep. So, yeah, she's over here again. Yep.
Your fans want to see you, Chloe.
Can you get up here without making me look like I abuse you?
There you go. There, now residential can see you.
Yep, there we go. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, that'd be awesome. Detecting Arizona, sweet. I appreciate you coming in here. And Randy just released another video too, drain spouts and stuff. That was kind of interesting. They used some lightweight plastic on that stuff. Thanks for coming in. So I think that's about most of it there. So yeah, we'll see you guys next Thursday if you want to come in. Or what did I say next Thursday?
Why do you keep saying Thursday?
This is the problem when you try to talk and think at the same time. It don't always work out real well.
Obviously, Rick can't multitask.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not a woman. He can't multitask.
Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, Do we got this thing ready to roll?
Well, heck no, man.
Oh man, you're the bomb diggity. We're gonna need to do a mix. That way, it's all done and ready to go.
And
but
you know, I didn't see our friends on. I didn't see Randy and Luke on.
Yep.
That was for them.
Yep. If you're out there, that was for you guys. So, but like I said, thanks a lot, guys, for coming in. I really appreciate all of you. I really enjoy doing this. I enjoy making the videos and hearing the feedback from you guys. So, if you want, by all means, email me if you got any questions, what have you. And, if you leave some comments and stuff, that's awesome too. So that's about it, guys. We're going to go ahead and just wrap her up there. So.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
We're done. Finito. See the door, use it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I want to see motion, movement.
Bye-bye.
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 Okay?
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Chloe, wave.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye, Chloe.
Did you stop it?